Get out of your own way, overcoming self-defeating behavior, leaving too much to chance. Leaving too much to chance. For a therapist, it is almost an everyday occurrence to hear someone say, from now on, it's going to be different, or I'll never do that again. Sadly, it's also an everyday occurrence to hear someone sheepish and downcast say, nothing ever changes, or I blew it again. Sometimes vows are made unthinkingly simply because it feels good to make them. It enables us to pat ourselves on the back for our good intentions or to make others feel better by assuring them that things will be different in the future and they won't be hurt, let down, or offended again. In those cases, it is no surprise that the vow has all the staying power of a campaign promise. But more often than not, our vows are sincerely made. We mean what we say. We want the future to be different. We have every intention of changing. The problem is we leave things to chance, assuming that our good intentions are enough to get the ball rolling and that we can improvise from there. If you really want things to be different in the future, you have to know how to change. You need a plan. Otherwise, the future is likely to repeat the past or be even worse. You might set change in motion, but lacking the tools to follow through, end up biting off more than you can chew. Like nature as a whole, human nature abhors a vacuum. When faced with unfamiliar circumstances, you might feel unprepared and try to fill the vacuum with tried and true behavior that might not serve your new purpose. As a result, you can end up not only ashamed and disappointed, but in real trouble. I've seen it happen, for example, to hardworking men who are facing retirement. I can't wait, they say, and reel off all the trips they'll take and the hobbies they'll indulge. But they fail to plan their finances properly and end up with only broken dreams to show for a lifetime of work. Others plan for the money, but not the time. Ask for what exactly they intend to do when they retire. They reply, I'll worry about that when it happens. I'm looking forward to doing whatever the hell I want. Then the day comes and they don't know what to do with themselves. They end up feeling useless and making everyone around them miserable. As the wife of one such man puts it, he wasn't well-rounded when he was young and flexible, so how can he be now that he's old and rigid? I've also seen it happen to single women in their late 30s who hear the ticking of their biological clocks. They want to have a child so badly that they grab the first available opportunity, whether or not they found a suitable partner. When asked how they will provide for a baby, how they hope to manage work and child care or afford a larger apartment, they appear certain that maternal love is strong enough to overcome any obstacle. A similar illusion affects lovers. Whether they're young Romeos and Juliets or middle-aged romantics who just know it's going to be different this time around, they follow their hearts without letting their heads consider the challenges of building a life with another person. Love conquers a lot, but it doesn't conquer all. Leaving too much to chance has dire consequences when what's at stake is a change of destructive behavior. Take, for example, a man who promises to stop battering his wife. Chastened, contrite, and possibly having been punished by the law, he might truly mean it, but without a plan, a commitment to therapy, and an effort to resolve the cause of his discontent, a blueprint for responding nonviolently to conflict, he is likely to revert to his old impulses when his buttons are pushed. Similarly, people who vow to give up smoking or drugs, or alcohol, or other destructive habits are doomed to fall off the wagon if they leave things to chance. It's not enough to declare, I'll never overeat again, or that's the last bet I'll ever make. Without a plan to deal with the impulse when it returns, you don't have much of a chance. People who go on crash diets, for example, lose a lot of weight quickly, but they seldom have a plan for keeping it off. Hence, they end up fatter than ever. That is precisely why a program such as Alcohol Anonymous works. It's a plan. It offers a way to stop and a way to enforce the follow-through. In The Field of Dreams, the main character played by Kevin Costner heard a voice that said, if you build it, he will come. He made a plan and stuck to it, and his deepest dreams came true. Wanting things to be different without a strategy for making them different will keep them the same. But if you plan it, you can build it. And if you can build it, it will come. Usable insight for today. An ounce of planning is worth a pound of luck. Wow. An ounce of planning is worth a pound of luck. Taking action. Start with the end in mind. Picture how you want things to be, clearly and specifically. Ask yourself what, when, and where, and form an image of that future in your mind's eye. Now ask how. Figure out exactly what you'll have to do to get there. If appropriate, break down your goal into segments. What specific steps must you take to reach each objective? Double check to make sure the plan is doable. Figure out what kind of help you'll need. Will you need experts, money, support, or sacrifice from your family? Find a way to monitor your progress. Unless you periodically follow up, you might not follow through. One way to do this is to make your plan public. State your intentions to people you trust and ask them to hold you accountable. And if you have an impulse to scrap the plan, resolve not to give in unless you have a plan for changing plans. Leaving too much to chance. Get out of your own way. Overcoming self-defeating behavior. Practical lessons for conquering procrastination, fear, envy, neediness, guilt, and more. Authors Mark Goulston, MD, and Philip Goldberg.